I have a good friend that has a powder coating company. I had it powder coated purple. And then from there, it just kind of snowballed. The air tanks, I had powder coated purple, powder coated purple, powder coated purple. Once again, I had powder coated purple, powder coated purple, powder coated purple, and had it powder coated, of course. They was all powder coated purple. Had powder coated purple, powder coated purple, powder coated purple. I had it powder coated purple. There's purple, imagine that. There for a short period, my powder coater, I think, kind of liked me pretty good. My name is Mike Korte. I'm based out of Iola, Kansas. I own a company called K2 LLC. We haul mostly corn, feed, fertilizer products from Nebraska, Colorado, Oklahoma, more regional than long distance. One bucket list item I've had since I started trucking in 1995 was to have a big horsepower motor. In 2020, I purchased a Caterpillar C18 motor, and I had Caterpillar break it down and balance it, built it back. It's putting about 1,276 horsepower on the dyno and about 450 foot-pounds of torque. I kind of know personally about it because I broke 2 transmissions with it before I kind of learned how to redrive, so to speak. When they built the motor, they took out the Cummins, put in the Caterpillar, and I had them take out the 355 gears in the rear end and put 325 gears in the rear end. And my naive thinking was I would have enough horsepower I could run at lower RPMs. The problem with that is Caterpillars don't like to lug down there. And that motor puts out more torque at low RPM than what the driveline can handle, the stock driveline can handle. It had a 2050 torque transmission in it from factory. When I changed this, it had 550,000 miles on the truck. The transmission was just perfectly fine, so we left it alone. And it lasted a month. And then the only hill or steep grade that I come across is the one on 412 when you leave Tulsa. There's a little short, steep grade. And you know, when you have power, you want to use the power from time to time. And I just set the cruise on 73. Up the hill we went, no effort. And when I got to the top, the transmission kind of had other ideas. So on a daily basis, I catch people with their video camera out or their phone, you know, taking pictures. And I've had people come up to me and say, hey, I seen you at so-and-so little town. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think I went through there, but I get comments on the CB going down the highway. Probably not as much as I used to because I think there's more truck drivers out on the road today that don't appreciate a fine truck. It's a job for them. Most of the older people, older truck drivers, it's a way of life, and they appreciate nice trucks and, you know, what you've done to them or your investment you've made into them. This is my 2015 Peterbilt 389. It was a factory stock truck when I bought it. Of course, since then, I've made a lot of changes to it. The paint design is about the 4th one I went through with the painter. I was looking for something that was not common. And so I literally Googled paint design in Australia. And this was one of them that popped up. And I thought, I've never seen that kind of design before. So that's how it got painted, this design. Everything from the bird on the hood is just your normal chrome swan you can buy at any chrome shop. Inside the truck, I went through all the gauges, our digital gauges. A lot of the stuff, if I could do it myself, I did it myself. The rear light bar on the truck, I built myself and had it powder coated, of course. I pull it with a 2025 Tempty 48-foot spread axle. In 2019, I converted the truck to what they call California hookups. It hooks up out the back. Personally, in my opinion, a hopper it works best with, because a hopper, because it has a void above the fifth wheel, you can run your electric and air cables up in there and back to the trailer. I could turn this truck and run the sleeper into the trailer, and the air and power lines pivot above the fifth wheel so it never gets into a bind. You know, in doing that, I kind of learned one of them things, boy, I should have done this a long time ago, because it makes so much sense. The trailer I got in the 1st of May, it was special ordered. It has hydraulic doors, power tarp, auto deploy lift axle, hammer gray colored tarp arms, colored tarp, of course, to match the truck. Other than what was done from the factory, I really haven't done much to the trailer yet, but I guess give me some time and see what I can unbolt and give to my powder coater. The key activates the system, has a fast fuel pump. I turn the fuel pump on and then just push button start. I'll put some button tuck interior pieces in it and all watermelon lights. Well, K2 started in 2016 when I sold my farm. I wanted to start K2 and teach people that wanted to learn about the industry, wanted to take part in the way of life that trucking was. Today, I have 6 lease operators. They run their own business. They have their own equipment. I'm just here to provide loads and knowledge. It's worked out. It couldn't have worked out better than what I thought, because, I'm currently surrounded with people that are like-minded like me, that, enjoy the way of life and want to provide for their family and take pride in what they're doing. That's lost in a lot of trucking companies today. They just view it as a job, and they don't go above and beyond typically to help the customer, whether unload or load. All of my guys, they do whatever they need to do to assist the customer at pickup and destination. In turn, all the customers on either end are beyond ecstatic of what we do. On the front of the truck, everything is stock except for the headlights. The headlights buckets are off of an 86 359 that I personally restored. The bumper was a design that I worked with on 4 states in 2019, because up to that point I never seen a bumper that on a Peterbilt would kind of match this curvature of the truck, and 12 gauge customs, and we'd come up with this bumper. Of course, since then, I've seen quite a few trucks with them, so it took about 6 months to CAD draw the bumper, then 4 states sent it in and got it built. This is my second one, because road rash just hits them really bad and they get blurry. Same thing as it's on the nose of the truck. It's cut stainless steel. I initially had intentions of putting it in here, but when I painted the truck, I did not want to lose this. And it did not look right in here. So I thought, where can I put this? So I put it on the air breather. I've never seen that before. Maybe there is somebody out there that's came up with the same idea. It kind of sticks out and looks nice. It is a factory pride and class truck, so it has the side vent look and the grill and the stainless steel fenders. Supposed to somewhat be like a 359 look. I think since then they replaced it with a 389X, and now you can't even buy a 389, so all the fun's gone. The implementation of the ELD electronic device, that done away with its own fair amount of old school truck drivers, because they just, they didn't want the hassle. They didn't want, to be told when to sleep or when to drive, and so I think a lot of them got out when that happened. Most trucking companies are, I guess I shouldn't say in it just to make a living. Everybody needs to make a living. But a couple decades ago, people made a living doing it and enjoyed what they drove, enjoyed what they hauled. And today it's just centered with, people in it, to maximize profits, and that's all. They don't care what their equipment necessarily looks like. If it gets 7 miles a gallon, or I don't know what the aerodynamic trucks get per mile, this thing gets 5 miles a gallon. It just gets 5 miles a gallon in the wind, or empty, it just gets 5 miles a gallon. I initially was going to put in a 6NZ Caterpillar. My Foley Caterpillar salesman said, "Have you ever thought about a C18? I said, "No." He said, "Well, you want to try it?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" It has 1,000 horsepower cam in it. They built it to what Caterpillar calls a CJP, which to the best of my understanding is a engine that Caterpillar built and mostly went into fire trucks, off-the-road trucks in harsh conditions. It is what it is today. When they built it, they took it over here to Park City, Kansas and put it on their dyno, broke it in on the dyno, and it was pulling 1,270 horsepower, 3,400-ish torque. Favorite thing is dealing with the customers on either end and seeing what we do and how it affects them and their reaction to the pride that we take in work. That's my favorite thing. Maybe might be second. My favorite thing is probably driving my truck. Least favorite thing, driving my truck and dispatching trucks.
At the same time?
Yes, because it's very cumbersome to do. It just makes driving a truck miserable. What I have discovered is the TMS portion is cost effective in our industry, easy to use for us older guys. It truly has made my life easier. I probably would not do what I'm doing today if it wasn't for TMS. It makes my life so much easier, and the whole purpose was to enjoy my truck and help guys that are interested in this industry learn how to make it profitable. Invoicing customers is probably one of the streamlined end of TMS. I have never heard a driver say that TMS is difficult to use. As far as something that's friendly to our industry, TMS is I don't know if it gets much better for what what you get bang for your buck. Every truck, whether we haul feed to feed cattle turn into a hamburger or a steak. It's just a chain of events. Whether a truck is hauling the steak to the grocery store, or whether a truck is hauling a young calf to be fed, or we haul ingredients to feed the calf. There's a lot of parts that a truck's involved in, and a lot of people might think, well, trains can do all that, but I don't see trains at feed yards that we go to. It's just not something that's feasible. The general public views trucking in general as somebody that's in their way to get to work, more so than the end result of that truck, whether it is, bringing their favorite soda pop or their favorite steak. I think more so, people are so busy these days, I think they view trucks in general as somebody that's in their way. And I need to get to work. You can't get up to speed fast enough. I wish this was not a problem, but it is. And I don't think that the general public in whole sees that.